Welcome back to the Todd Partnership, and I'm Xander Todd.
I'm Jennifer Todd.
And today we want to talk about some recent news. LeBron James opening up a school called the I Promise School. The first day of school was July 30th. It's a part of the Akron public school system. That's very important news because most of the schools that these athletes or celebrities open up, they're like charter schools.
Right.
So they're not open to the public. So they're really not causing any change. They're kind of like in their own bubble for privileged kids almost.
Yeah, like Deion Sanders had a school here in Dallas, and basically
he had a school. Yeah.
Well, okay, but basically it was just like a magnet for kids who wanted to be professional athletes.
Yeah.
And instead of like affecting the masses, it was just singling out a specific type of student.
Yeah. So I think that's important. It's part of the public school system. Maybe it'll rise the standard in that area. So for the first school year, there will be 240 students consisting of 3rd and 4th graders, in which they will expand 1st through 8th by the year 2022.
So there's a statistic that depending on what your reading score is in the 3rd grade, it can basically foretell if you are going to be in prison as an adult or if you'll be a productive citizen of the country.
Yeah.
What they do with the data is, depending on what the reading scores are, that's how they project how many prisons to build in order to house and facilitate the amount of prisoners that they expect that will be produced.
It's kind of jacked up. But I see the intentionality of LeBron James saying that we can't have a school 1st to 8th graders like the first year, not have the structure set up to succeed. So let's start with the 3rd and 4th grade students. Another reason why he picked these grades is because he expressed that in the 4th grade he missed 83 days of school, which he said really affected him academically, like throughout his whole academic career. So a lot of intentionality. The classrooms will hold a max of 20 students per class. The national average is 23. I think that's significant because the smaller the classrooms, the more one-on-one time the teachers can have with the students, the more times you can really tackle the issues of each student. The teacher's not stressed out and overwhelmed. The teacher needs to be just as comfortable as the student, in my opinion, to make sure that it's a great atmosphere for the kids.
You get a lot of behavior problems when it's more than 20 students per one teacher. I mean, like in Texas where we live, they'll bring in what they call a what do they call that? Yeah. Compliance teacher. So like if they have more than the ratio that they would like to have, they bring in another teacher to help kind of control the classroom and behavioral things and make sure that each student is getting the time and attention that they need. But a lot of times the compliance teacher is not available, so you just have one person maybe with 30 students trying to teach what the curriculum is, but also like they're trying to address behavioral problems, and it's just like everyone suffers in that situation.
And on that's a good segue to how they acquire, like who will be able to go to the school. It was very surprising to hear that the 240 students consist of them pulling data from the students that had low reading scores that were considered 1 to 2 years behind. I think that was pretty cool to really tackle the issue. It's not a school based off, okay, who has the highest grades, we're going to go with them. They're tackling the issue. Yeah. One of the other things that this school has is longer school days. Like the school day is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the school year is from July 30th to May 17th. So it's a longer school year and longer days with a 7-week summer program in between that. The principal, I forgot her, it slips my mind what her name, but the principal said that they want to cut that gap of students going out for the summer and forgetting everything that they learned.
They call it the summer slide.
The summer slide, yeah. So, I mean, one of the things when I first saw this the time for it, I immediately thought about the parents having to go to work because this is a 9 to 5 school day, and so I think this also cuts down on childcare and a lot of that. So like, there's benefits to this because I remember having to have childcare for our kids so that they can, so that we can work. I mean, so because we usually get off around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And like we said, this is in Akron where LeBron grew up. So like, actually, this is like in his old neighborhood. Yeah. And so like, he was just saying he identifies with a lot of these kids because like, they're in situations that place them as underprivileged. So, it might be a one parent household and maybe mom can't afford to do the child care, or maybe she makes a dollar or two above what the assistance level will allow. And so like, basically just trying to remove all those barriers and thresholds that keep people from succeeding, that have kind of been structured into our society just as normal, what normal people work through. 2-parent households, people who earn a sufficient income. And then also I really like that they really focus on being a family. Yes, yeah. Like, we are family is everywhere. On their banner, on their flag.
They had the song blasted.
They did.
At the
little
first
pep
day.
rally. Pep rally parade. It was nice. They really made it seem, like a big deal. And like, it is a big deal. Education is important for people. It's foundational. It's the way that things are equalized in society when people are disadvantaged in one area or another. And so I really appreciate that. And they provide a lot of things even through the school for the family. So like, they were talking about how they have the food bank if people needed food. Yeah. They have like a GED program for parents who hadn't graduated high school. And I think they were doing like career counseling, once they got their GED.
When I heard about the GED program for the kids, for the adults, the parents of the kids, and also the career counseling, I thought about those movies where you see a teacher come into the school and try to shake up the school, and the teacher is trying to get the student to realize that you can rise above your situation, even if your parents are acting a fool or something, or don't care too much about education, that you can go above that. I think they kind of flipped it on its head to where they say, okay, there's a situation where the school system failed the parents as well.
Right, that's a good point.
So they're able to go and like help the parents of these children, and to where they're elevated as well, where it's not just a situation where the kids are like, man, I gotta fight at school, I gotta fight at home. This is a family, like you said earlier, like it's centered around family. Yeah. And that's so impactful for even the parents and the students. It sets the tone in the household too as well.
It does.
Like, where every family can be great.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Because I think even like we know that the family is a foundation of the community. The community is foundation of society, world. Yeah. So like, we're getting down to the root, but I think like, we talk about people breaking cycles all the time, but we leave that last generation like just to fend for themselves. And I think it creates a lot of tension and jealousy because you see one generation who have worked their whole life and they never realized their dream or their true potential. And so it's like, man, I wish I would have had that. Yeah. And so like, I think that probably increases the buy-in to the school just in the neighborhood, because it's like, well, yeah, my kids have a great opportunity, but I also have a great opportunity myself. Yeah. Like, this is really uplifting to the whole community.
And then with the food bank, one of the statistics that I found out in an area in Texas is that kids don't necessarily eat when there's no school. Right. And sometimes that can be just the parents, a one-parent household where they can't really cook. all the time, so the kids are eating like Pop-Tarts and
that could be two
you
parents.
know stuff. And then that could be two parents. It could be a situation where you said that they make just enough to get above the line where they can get assistance. So it's a struggle.
They're just stuck in between.
And then nutrition. We all know about nutrition. I mean, it's been proven data about nutrition. Having the right food in the right conditions so that you can learn,
right,
so that you can retain stuff.
It affects your brain.
Yeah,
too.
so you're not eating struggle food all the time. So the food bank allows the parents to go get nutritious food so that they both can succeed. I think it's nothing to be prideful about. I think it's just a gap in our society that people look down on, but it's needed.
It is.
Like, I mean, it's clearly a divide between classes in this country where some people have way more advantages than others. And I think this is like closing that gap, because I believe everybody has a purpose. Everybody can be great and affect society. Like, I see some of these kids. I mean, when I thought about it, I look at LeBron James. He's at the forefront of this. But I see some of these kids growing up to be successful in their careers and doing the same thing in another town, or just boosting what's there. Like, I mean, I see this as a domino effect in a positive way.
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing T.D. Jakes said one time was the thing that parents are doing to ruin that is ruining their kids is not giving them a hard time. And I think that the fact that LeBron James had to come up through such hard trials, like, he can see and relate to the experience, and he knows what it takes to get through that. And so he can assimilate all those ideas that says this is what meets this need, this is what meets this need, and like, this is what needs to come together in order for this particular situation to be elevated. Definitely.
I think we see that throughout all the decisions that were made. Third and fourth graders, they're super intentional. He also said that every student will be getting a bicycle.
Right.
Because when he was growing up, sometimes he couldn't get to school. He was just tired. And having a bicycle really helped him get to school. A lot of these decisions is based off personal experiences that are now helping others. Like, I think one of the things that we lack in this society is politicians that really understand what people go through. They can't sympathize with nobody because they didn't have those experiences. And to see LeBron use his platform in this way and use his experiences to address these and close the gaps, I think it's an awesome thing. I really like the imagery of the school too. Like, so when you walk into the school, it's like a big wall of like Martin Luther King, Jesse Owens, LeBron is on that wall. Like, just seeing successful people, especially people of color
that look like the kids
the kids in their area, is very impactful. I think is something that subconsciously they will see throughout the whole year. And they can say, okay, I can reach these levels. There's people that have reached these levels. I can obtain those same things. And he also had like his shoes and stuff on the wall too. I think it was like 140 shoes. But the other shoe, so they don't have the pair of shoes, they only have one of them. So the other shoes that are not on the wall have been sold on auction
to support
the school. So everything is super intentional. And he's had I Promise since 2011. That's when he started this initiative, I Promise. So he's been doing this for a long time. He's been helping the schools through mentorships, financially, a lot of those things, supplies, computer labs and stuff like that. He's been doing this since 2011. And one of the things that he started in 2011 was every child that's under the I Promise umbrella will receive a 4-year scholarship to the University of Akron.
Right.
Guaranteed scholarship. So that's powerful within itself. I mean, you can be a great student growing up in a tough area, and you're concerned about how am I going to go to that next level. My family can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't even apply for a loan because that's going to get denied. Like, how do I get to that next level? And sitting in school as a 10th grader or 11th grader, knowing that if I take care of business, I can get a free ride to a 4-year scholarship. I mean, to a 4-year university. That's impactful. Like, I think they'll cut down on behavioral problems because people have something to look forward to. I think one of the reasons why we see like behavioral problems in the inner communities is that they can't envision themselves past a certain age.
Well, I think it's like they feel like school is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because just like, this is what I gotta get through so that I can just either find the job to get the money to get the stuff that I want, or to like really be doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be at the movies. So
I'm gonna get through this.
Right. I ain't trying to go to jail because of truancy.
What do you think about LeBron James now? What did you think about before?
I like LeBron James. I mean, like, I know people, he got haters out there, but I really like LeBron James because I feel like even with the excellent talent that he has, like, I think he does bring leadership to the teams that he plays on, and I think he's humble. Like, okay, I can be confident in what I'm able to do. I know what I bring to a team. I know who I am, and I think some people get upset with that. But as far as him, just like as a player, I liked him, and so like seeing him doing this, like giving back to the community, because he's not even playing in Ohio anymore. And so like for him to even just come back and invest so much in this area, I had a lot of respect, even more than what I had before.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I've always been a LeBron James fan, and the reason why is because he's always been humble, and people say that always try to compare him to Michael Jordan, and I think I forgot what interview it was, but he did think that he was one of the greatest players to ever play. My question to the haters is that why wouldn't you think that of yourself? Like, is he supposed to go out there and say that I'm not on that level? Like, he's a competitor.
Right.
Like, that's like a rapper. Like, a rapper is not going to say, oh, I'm not that good. They're going to say, I'm the greatest of all time. Like, you should have that confidence in yourself. And one of the things that I liked about him is that he's always been a team player. You never seen him really blow up. Like, you never seen anything about domestic violence charges or substance abuse. One of the things, the pep rally that they had at the school, he had his family up there. Like, his wife and his daughter, his mother. His sons weren't there. I think they were somewhere else. They might have been like at a camp or something. But he's always been like a family man, and like he spoke up about what he believes in. Like, I have even more respect for him, and he's won championships. So like, you can't say he's a loser. This dude has won championships.
Yeah, he's not trying to compensate for something he didn't accomplish in his own career. He's
went to brung a championship to Cleveland. Like, brung multiple championships to Miami. Now he's headed to the Lakers, where I think he'll bring more championships. But I think this, like, no matter what he does on the court, like, he gets it. He uses his platform to bring, like, value to people. Like, I know he had that little spurt where Trump, it wasn't Trump, it was somebody that said
he need to shut up
and play ball. But if he would have shut up and just played ball, we wouldn't have this big impact that we have with the community now. I think another reason why I love this move is that I think it challenges other athletes. Like, it challenges other entertainers that are on high level, like, to, okay, you can make an impact. Like, could you imagine every athlete doing this in their city, like that would be hugely impactful.
Yeah.
And guess what? I wouldn't have to wait for a politician to pass any law, to give any funding. And here's the thing, like he has a lot of sponsorships too, LeBron does. But he's able to do that and connect with those people because of his platform.
Right.
So I think he sealed his legendary status with this.
He definitely has a legacy.
He could lose every game from now on, and I will still say he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think your heart comes through, like, to people. I think that is a greater measure of who you are than your stats that you put up, you know. And like there was another basketball player that kind of was salty about, you know, the notoriety he was getting behind the school, and he tried to kind of compare that, you know, he kind of done something similar to this, not quite the same, but you know, you could just see the insecurity that was rising up in that player. And I was just like, you know, people, we could feel that. We could feel that coming through the screen. Yeah. And you know, when you see that, it's like, okay, you got a little jealousy going on here. You know, why can't we just all come together and do something great for our communities, for our countries, for our the people that look like us or don't look like us? You know, like, why can't we just lift other people up and keep it moving
and just build on top of it? Let your ceiling be somebody's floor.
Right.
You know, where that player, he might have inspired LeBron James to open a school. Like, so now I'm looking for an athlete in the future, hopefully in the near future, not even athlete, whoever has a high enough platform to make an impact like this, even if you're not known publicly, like if you just have the resources to do it.
There's a man named Ron Clark who had a school in Atlanta. You might have seen it on YouTube where he was like reaching the kids. They were dancing and stuff, and like they have one in Dallas now.
Okay, yeah.
And so, you know, like even on that level, just knowing that you can be a game changer. Yeah.
And I think, and it builds, right? So the next entry of impact could be way bigger than LeBron James school. Like, I think we just get caught up into comparisons where we don't just say, okay, that is awesome. How can I build on what you started? How can I build on the foundation that you set, instead of trying to tear down somebody's foundation to build your own? Like, one of the things that I've heard someone say is that I'm not trying to rebuild buildings, right, in a city. I just want mine to be the tallest building in the city. Like, I'm not trying to tear down anybody else, you know, project. I just want to make sure that I give 100% to build on that foundation. So I love this news coming out. I think it's a great start. I can't wait to see the stories of the kids that come out of this. And man, more props to LeBron James than ever. Like, keep moving forward. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Tell us what you think about the I Promise School and LeBron James in the comments below. We want to hear what you got to say. Remember to subscribe to the Tide Partnership, and we'll see you next time. Peace.